what would you say if I told you that you could be fined if your kid turns out to be a bully, if he's bullying another kid in school? Parents in Monoma, Wisconsin, apparently this is going to happen. They'd first get a warning, and then police can ticket them up to $114. That would be for a first offense, up to $177 for repeat violations in the same year. Now, the city attorney says, look, this fine is basically a last resort for situations where parents of bullying kids are refusing to work with police. So we want you to be the judge. What time is it? Time for you to be the judge. Is this fair or is it unfair? So let's hear the arguments here. Judge Hatchett, what do you think?
Well, I tell you, I'm concerned that it opens up a Pandora's box. And in terms of how you apply it consistently, although I understand the frustration, Christy, of law enforcement officers who are not getting cooperation from parents. One knows I've seen enough of that in my own courtroom with kids being bullied and parents just being indifferent. But I do think that after a certain point that there probably ought to be something that is imposed against the parents. But I'm concerned about this kind of opening up and being too hazy, because I looked at the definition in the ordinance. I read the ordinance, and I'm kind of like, how do you really define that? And maybe one school official says that you bullied the kid, the other might let it slide. And I think there are going to be some challenges legally to this.
Well, okay, Steve Cardian, I mean, you're a former law enforcement officer. You're a law enforcement expert. What do you say to that? And, you know, maybe some people might argue, look, sometimes you got to hit a parent in the wallet to wake them up.
Well, the judge brings up some very valuable points. Now, from dealing with it in my 30 years in law enforcement and seeing it, I am for anything that will help the problem. Now, also, they're not going to go after the parents that are trying to deal with the situation. It appears that they're going to go after everything else has failed. Now, this is the last resort. So I think it's a good thing. The problem that it's going to exist, the law enforcement's going to raise my child. You're going to tell me how to raise my child. The civil liberties unions that are going to be challenging. So it is problematic.
I'm going to do kind of a devil's advocate, you know, take the other side here. And I'm only doing it from my experience, which is seeing parents who were great parents who tried everything and had one of those uncontrollable, I'm just going to say it, bad kids. And I mean, they were heartbroken. What if they didn't have the money? So I don't know. I mean, I can see why we got to do something, but I'm not sure this is it.
Okay, well, we want to hear from you. You've heard from our panel. You've heard, you know, the pros, the cons, and their opinions. You be the judge now. Go to Facebook.com/RaisingAmericaHLN right now. We have a verdict, your verdict, by the way. We've been asking you, should parents be fined if their kids bully another child in school? I got to tell you, your viewer verdict for us is overwhelmingly, yep, fine them, make them pay. All right, Judge, do you agree?
Well, I think if it's an extreme situation and you don't have any other options, I certainly have imposed penalties on parents who didn't get their kids enrolled in school or who were chronically truant. But I'm hoping that there are some intermediate steps that we can take, because I do think this opens a Pandora's box that creates a bad precedent.
Jen, you've got some comments, right?
Yeah, we've got some of the viewer comments. We were kind of looking through them before, and there were a lot of people who said yes, like Christina here. She says, so yes. I see some parents encouraging their children to be mean and to bully all the time. And that's a case where I think we can all say, my gosh, let's get some sense into these parents. But Jamie says community service for the kids, hard work. And that was something that some of the other commenters echoed in too. They said this isn't about the parents sometimes, especially if it's an older kid. It's about the kid. Have the kid take responsibility for their actions. If they can't pay, community service.
And then maybe parents go and do community service with them.
Yeah.
You know, to reinforce that.
Yeah, I had some people on Twitter saying they need counseling. They don't need fines. I mean, it comes from all places. So we want to know if you agree with the viewer verdict. If you don't, keep weighing in on Facebook.com/RaisingAmericaHLN.